The medical industry is something that we just trust, and we often forget that it's a business with a genius of a business model behind it. Now, I don't want this video to turn into some conspiracy video about the medical industry, but one thing for sure is that its business model is built on a couple of very powerful business principles. And that's actually the same principle that you can apply into your own business and benefit from massively. And that's exactly what was on my mind as I was sitting in the doctor's office listening to the doctor prescribing statins to my husband Nick after we had gone through a routine medical checkup. And as I was sitting there, I realized that we were approaching the bottom of the funnel, to use an online marketing term. But it is what it is. A client getting system, a funnel, because how did we end up there? Hi, I'm Michelle Hon, a mother of 3, and I've built multiple 6-figure businesses from home while working half days. And if you've not subscribed to this channel yet, please do so now. Okay, now, how did we get to the stage where Nick could potentially be on a lifelong medication situation? Well, it all started with the casual reminders that we need to go for a medical checkup. And I kept seeing ads and articles about so-and-so celebrities or the mom next door who found out that they have cancer or whatever illness that we didn't realize we have. And even though I felt absolutely healthy, I told Nick, well, let's go. I need to know, right? It's health. It feels like money well spent to find out perhaps there's something wrong with us, because the longer we wait, the worse it may get. How many of you believe that it's important to have a medical checkup every now and then? It's ingrained in us, isn't it? And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but it's a funnel. It's ads and it's content that drives us into the funnel. So I went ahead and I bought this full body checkup for us both. It was affordable, it's the reasonable first step, right? To get your client to work with you. And this was kind of the first step down the funnel and the first lesson for us to learn from is that the way I entered the funnel was via an assessment to see if there's something wrong with me. Curiosity is a big driving force, especially when it creates the fear of missing out. And in this case, in my case, I might miss any illness in me. So the lesson in that for you to think about in business is the power of audits or assessment that your target audience may be interested in, and that could eventually lead to your products. And another reason it works so great is that these audits can usually be cheaper for your customers or absolutely free, so it's a no barrier to entry, like a lead magnet. Because you technically haven't yet serving the solution, it is not expensive for you to deliver on it. But you get to see what type of solution that they may need, so that then you can actually come back to them selling the most relevant option of your product. And that's also why, if you have a range of products, then audits or assessments or quizzes, whether it's paid or free, depending on your business, are such a great lead magnet or the first low price offer. And that's exactly what I guess hooked me in when I went for my own medical checkup. Now, let's get back to the story. So I kind of dragged Nick along with me, right? And we both spent like half a day, jumping from station to station. So we did our heart rate, we did blood pressure, we did blood tests, until we were eventually invited into the doctor's office to review our diagnosis. And even though we had our diagnosis printed out for us, I mean, we could just read it, right? But no, going to the doctor's office was a necessary step of the process. So we went. Once we were in the room, I was told that thankfully everything was fine for me and I just have to come back once a year to make sure that I don't miss anything. But for Nick, he was told that he had high cholesterol, apparently. Like it's not crazy high, but it was on the high side. And bear in mind, Nick, he is healthier than I am. He eats healthy, he goes to the gym, he works out, he walks every day. So this sort of came to us as a shock. And the doctor prescribed Nick to take statin. Now, if you don't know what statin is, it's like a blood thinning medication to help lower the level of LDL cholesterol, which is known as the bad cholesterol. And statin is prescribed long term, and many people take it for the rest of their life because it's just one of those things that is hard to let go of, because once you stop taking them, then your cholesterol level will just return to high levels, right? I mean, don't quote me on that. I'm not a doctor, but that's what I know about it. So anyway, as the doctor was saying that, he needs to be on statin, the immediate thought that came to mind for me was, I don't want Nick to be reliant on a long-term medication, but I understand that the potential incentives behind prescribing the drug, right? I mean, it is very lucrative, isn't it? It's a recurring source of revenue, both for the medical industry, I mean, the manufacturer and the doctor or the hospital that prescribe it. You buy the medicine once, you consume it, and it runs out, and you have to do it again and again. And you have to do it over and over for the rest of your life. So from a business perspective, it's awesome, it's great. Imagine having a product that has a customer pretty much guaranteed for the rest of their life. So the lesson here is, within your business, think about how can you create and position your products in a way that require lifetime access. Maybe it is a community, maybe it is a supplement that you can take for the rest of your life, right? And it depends on the time and the duration and the transformation that you are providing for your client. I mean, have a think, because if you can create a recurring stream of revenue, that is a very powerful thing, as you're not having to constantly reacquire new customers, which of course is difficult and expensive. Anyway, so the doctor was recommending this drug called statin. We weren't convinced, so we decided to hold off the statin and to do a bit of our own research online. And I also talked to my brother as well, who is a doctor. And it turns out that the prescription was quite unnecessary at this point. And the blood test didn't quite show the full picture. And while yes, Nick's LDL was high, it turns out that he also has a high levels of HDL as well, which is the good type of cholesterol. So we never went on the medication, and this whole experience was 2 years ago. And of course, Nick is fine and as healthy as ever. And I'm not sure if I'll go back to the same hospital for a total body checkup again. And that brings me on to the third lesson that you can learn from this specifically, in this case, is to have a good product, the right product for your customers, because that's exactly the difference between having them be gone forever or having them coming back again and again and being your source of recurring revenue. So that was just a quick one, right? That was an interesting story that I thought I'll share that shows that client getting system, funnels are really all around us, right? Some are bigger than others, some are more obvious than others, and even industries as old as the medical industry are using them, whether you realize it or not. So when it comes to the game of online business, don't be overwhelmed by the new terminology or thinking that because it's online, it's something brand new, untested, or that it's so new that you'll never be able to get your head around or catch up to. To me, it's simple. It's the fundamental principles of business that are the same, whether you are doing it online or offline. If anything, having your business online provides you with more leverage because you can track and test your funnels more effectively. And if this video makes sense to you and you'd like to explore getting a clear client getting system or having a funnel set up so that your business is attracting and nurturing leads on demand, I have this free training, which I think is a good place to start. You can find out about this training in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video and I look forward to seeing you at our next video.